I just said, no, look, this is where you're supposed to go, so stay there. So this is where this is born out of, are overcoming obstacles, because guess what? Okay? So what are obstacles? We have life interruptions, like I had, with the fact that my addiction, that can be a life interruption. You can have financial issues, emotional blocks, relationship issues, physical challenges. I'm dealing with one of those right now with my eyes. I'm having issues. I had cataract surgery.
Okay.
It ain't go right. All right, it's been one thing after another with that. But guess what? One of the things that I have to understand is that that's what I've been dealt with. Gotta deal with it. Can't let it just derail everything that I'm doing. I'm stopped. You know what I did? Got me some reasons. You might see me sitting up to the computer like this, but I'm still getting stuff done. We can't allow life to stop us from achieving our goals. Because you know what? Y'all know my story. 13 years clean, and so 14 years actually, 14. It'll be 15 on 15. It'll be 15 on October the 3rd. Loss of friends and family. I have lost people on this journey. Okay? I mean, there are people who have died. I've lost so many friends from overdoses here in the last couple of years. It's not even funny. I had one friend, we went to Brook together, Marty. They found him sitting on the couch with the pipe still in his hand. Yeah. Family. I've lost family because guess what? In this process, one of the things they tell us is to make amends to people that you've hurt, that you cause pain. Well, sometimes they don't accept that. And that's painful. But guess what? I cannot let that stop me from doing what I need to do.
All right.
Because all I can do is my part. One thing that I've learned along this journey is I can't control anything or anybody except how I react to those situations. That's it. That's all I got. And I'm cool with that today. I'm all right with that. Because what I've done, as Joseph likes to call me, the Mr. 1.4, I built a faith-based internet television network called Spirit Broadcasting. Now we have 8 channels. We are a network. We have 8 channels. We have the Faith Channel. We have the Westerns Channel. We have the Sci-Fi Channel. I gotta have my Sci-Fi. We have a Nature Channel, and we have a History Channel, and we have a Classic TV Channel. So it's a real network. It really is. And so I started this, and this is one of the businesses that I do. The other thing is I do life coaching. I'm gonna make a plug for that at the end of this. I'm gonna try and get some business. But I do life coaching because one of the things I found in this journey is that it's a lot of people out there. See, she's a clinician. She can help you with your mental illness. That ain't what I do. What I am is like a guide. I help people find their goals. I don't give you goals. I don't take you with goals. You find them on your own. There are different evaluations and things we can do where you actually sit down and look at where you want to go. I just help you build a plan to get there, strategies to get there. Because guess what? If you don't have a plan in life, you're making a plan.
All right.
Okay? You are making a plan. You make, when they say if you fail to prepare, you're going to fail. So what we need to do is understand, I like to talk about, I was in the Marine Corps. One thing I like to talk about is we have this thing that I was an expert shot. I could hit an echo target from 500 meters. Blow your head off. Yeah, that's how I'm a bad man. but it's a process. It says ready, aim, fire. Ready, aim, fire. If you didn't do that, you're not gonna hit what you're aiming for. Because guess what? If I'm shooting at that wall and I'm back here somewhere, I'm never gonna hit that wall. That's how a lot of us go through life, aiming for stuff that we're not even working the process. We don't have a plan. Just go out there and wing it. No, we have to have a plan. Nobody, I'm gonna tell you this, they call this a battle, life. Excuse me. If you don't have a battle plan, you will be conquered. life will kick you in the tail.
Right.
You know, I was telling Jaden here a little bit ago. He said, I said, you know, I knew this guy. He said, I got the world by the tail. Like, yeah, but a fart hits you in the face first. Gotta understand where you are. That was funny, y'all. Okay, 3 truths about obstacles. They're inevitable. You know, there's this thing that you say, there's death and taxes. Those are 2 things that are certain, like death and taxes. Well, no, obstacles. If you, there's a saying, if you find a path that has no obstacles, it probably leads nowhere. Okay? It leads nowhere. There has to be obstacles. We are made to overcome. That's what this thing is all about. But what happens to us along the way is we get distracted. We get tired. We feel like, oh, I kind of want to go, that's too hard. I don't want to do that. Oh, look at this over here. That looks pretty. Oh, that's too hard too. Oh, look at that. Looks pretty. And we never get anything done. The shiny object syndrome. You don't have a plan. You gotta have a plan. Okay. Obstacles can be opportunities in disguise. They are opportunities to grow. They are opportunities to grow in your strength. Paul said in the scripture, Paul says, I press on. I press on to the mark of the high calling. I press. Pressing is an action. You have to actually get involved in it. You have to put something into it. You know, in this life, you know, I had a friend of mine one time. He was looking for work. But all he did was sit around the yard. I said, what you expected? That guy gonna knock on the door? Who was that? Job? It doesn't happen that way. We gotta put some effort into it, right? The other thing is, they don't define you. I'm not defined. I tell people this all the time. And Chuck knows it probably gets hard to hear me saying it. You know, I don't live where I used to live. Okay? You can't define me by what I used to do.
Okay.
See, they call it the past for a reason. Because it's over. Ain't jack I can do about it, but guess what? I can live better now.
Right.
See, that doesn't define me. You call me crackhead all you want. Bother me. Because I'm not that. See, you can only, I'm sorry, you running out of your picture. You can't let other people define you. You are who God says you are. You know, and I'm gonna get, this is for the ladies. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I say this to my daughter all her life, and now she walks in it. I told her, I said, creation wasn't complete until a woman came on the scene. They were the crowning jewels of creation. Don't let any man ever define who you are, because God designed that back in Genesis. Don't ever do that, because we have our beautiful queens running around chasing these. I saw this meme on Facebook. I know I'm getting kind of off the track here, but just bear with me. This guy down on one knee. He said, "Will you be my 6 baby's mama?" I said, and a lot of women say, yeah. No, define yourself by God's rules, okay? Amen. This is where it all starts, y'all. This is where change starts. All of it starts right here, the mindset. I have several courses now about mindset. You know, warrior mindset. I got a lot of stuff about warriors because I was a Marine. I am a Marine. I don't know what's up. But shift from victim to victor. And that's just because you think. That's changing your mind. Bible also tells us, renew your mind. See, we can renew our minds. That's the thing about, Dr. Cooper talked about it, neuroplasticity. That what it's called, neuroplasticity? Yeah. Where the brain can change. It can get back into healthy form. You don't have to stay stuck on stupid. You feed. We had this thing when I was in school. in the computer world, it was called GIGO. Garbage in, garbage out. What you feed your brain will show up in your life. He said we will be known by the fruits that we bear. Well, if you bearing, if you feeding that stuff junk, that's the kind of fruit you're gonna bear, junk.
Yeah.
Practice daily affirmations. And you may think this is silly, but I got a sheet. I got some bunch of stuff that I'm gonna pass out to you guys, and it helps you do daily affirmations. Because guess what? I find out, and Lalandra and Karen and some of y'all have been on my morning program every morning at 8:30. Wake up with the word. Wake up with the word. Why? Because when I wake up with the word, my day starts off better.
Okay.
I get that positive affirmation every morning, and that sets my day, sets the path for my day. And when that's self-talk in a way. I gotta jazz myself up. Sometimes. I saw it sometimes. Sometimes you got to encourage yourself.
All right.
You get in the midst of something, you just say, you know what? I know I can do this. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things. They didn't say some things, a few things. It said all things. If I'm walking with him, you can't hurt me. That's how I go through life now. I know that, I can get hurt or whatever, but guess what? If I leave here, I'll be with him. Amen. If I stay here, I'll serve him. Those are the two options. See, I was telling Joseph, brother, one of the things that happens is when you change your mindset, your whole world changes. You want to change, and I told him, I said, you know what, the thing that changed the most in my life was my relationship with my wife. I changed. She had always been there. I was the one who left. I was the one who went insane. I was the one who did the dirt. But she stayed. And when I changed this, that whole relationship changed. I said, who is this woman? Wow. What a treasure. What a jewel. Not all the time. I want y'all to think she walk on water or something, all right? Oh, yeah. I'm in trouble. Next time she show up at the church, and, hey, that's what he said. But this too shall pass. I will become worse. I overcame addiction to crack cocaine. There's nothing I cannot do. And I truly believe that. I truly believe that. God brought me out. I remember the last time I got high. I was sitting there in the trap house, and something just said, "You're done." What? I'll be right here, bitch. I couldn't. And I was done. I equated to, remember that Forrest Gump movie? Man, he's running. He's running, and he said, I'm done. That's kind of how it happened, man. I was done. So I know if I can quit that, I can come and get to this point in life. Look, I said I never wanted to be the minister of a church again. God laughed at that one. I said, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. God said, watch. Let me show you. You're going to go places that you never even thought you could. Like Joseph said, we did this thing called a special needs trust. I ain't bragging because it ain't me, it's God. But he called me this 1.4 because that's my net worth. 1.4. I didn't do this, y'all. God did. Okay? 14 years ago, sitting in the crack house. Now, I'm living in Prospect, Kentucky, in a house worth over $500,000.
All right.
It ain't me. It's God who keeps us coming over these obstacles. But we have to do our part. And our part is keep being persistent. Keep being persistent and consistent. Okay? All right. Make a simple plan. See, the thing that we do that kills all of our efforts is we make plans that are so elaborate that we set ourselves up for failure. Do small steps. Small steps. You know, the old adage says, how do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
There you go, Marty. One bite at a time. Yeah, you can't just rush in there and do everything at once. You know, it's a reason God gives us one day at a time. Because if we had them all at the same time, we mess them all up. So, tackle one thing at a time. When I say that, you know, we have this thing now that they talk about multitasking. No. Multitasking is not the way to go. Get that done, then move on to the next one. Get that done. Because when you multitask, especially for me anyway, I never get anything done. Because I start over here, and I start over there, and then I start over here and start. No, I have to finish this task, then move to the next task, move to the next task. I have a checklist, you know, of things to do on Sunday. I sit down for the week and plan out, these are the tasks I need to complete this week. Now, do I have to get them all done? No, but I have this list that gives me a direction of where I want to go in this week. And it does help me stay on task. Ask for help when needed. I said that earlier with Dr. Cooper. We can't do everything. You can't be all things to everybody. And you're going to need somebody to help you from time to time. Don't be afraid to ask for help. There's no shame in that. No shame. But actually, it's a smart thing to do. A smart thing to realize is that I need assistance with something. You know, I can't do all the things that need to be done in this church. I need Chuck. I need Connie. I need Karen. I need people to help me. And I'm not afraid to do that. You gotta let go of some stuff. See, we wanna try and, you know, I'm a man, I can do it. You know what? Get over yourself. Get over yourself. We need help. Build a support system. This is the most important thing, I think, one of the most important characteristics of overcoming obstacles is be around positive people.
Okay.
You know, because you have them dream killers out there, you know what I'm talking about? Every time you say something, well, I'm going to do that, they will just say, no, how you can't do that? You can't do that. No, I remember back in the 90s, I had a television show called Shemwell Report. And I remember when I first said it, I told my buddies, I said, yeah, I'm going to go over and start me a television program. Man, they ain't going to let you start no television program. You can't do that, man. What you talking about? Are you crazy, man? Who you think you are? You ain't no TV executive. You can't. I said, you know what? I'm not hanging around you no more for a while, okay? And we only did my TV show for 12 years, okay? So, got two endings. Yeah. So don't tell me what I can't do. Faith communities. I'm telling you, iron sharpens iron. Okay? You need to be around people who believe in God.
Amen.
I said it's going to be, but this has got to be about God. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. No. God has to be at the center of what we do, where we're going, what we, one of the things that I like in Scripture says, seek ye first the kingdom and his righteousness. And then all these things will be added unto you. See, and you know why they'll be added to you? Because your mindset changes. You don't want stuff. You don't say, like, I'm praying to God for a Cadillac. No. When you start seeing things from the eternal perspective, when your mind is renewed, guess what? This, I heard, I think Dr. Cook said about the materialistic, capitalistic society that we live in. I told these guys the other day, when we were on the call, the mentorship, didn't I tell you, I said, don't chase money. Don't chase money. Find your God-given talent, your God-given gift, and pursue that. God will give you the provision after that. You know, it says, God gives you the vision, then he gives you the pro. Okay? And put that all together for you if you are walking with him. No, I didn't know what I was worth. We did a special needs trust for my son. So that what I wanted to make sure was that he was protected. You know, Wayne's autistic, so I said, let's make sure that when we go that we don't have that probate and all that stuff. Because I've seen all that, how they can tear you up.
Yeah.
You know, they take about 20% of everything you got.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's crazy. So put it in trust, guess what? Can't touch this. Can't touch this. And counseling and coaching resources. That's why I'm really a big advocate for coaching and counseling. Because counseling helped me get back on track, and coaching can help you get to where you want to go, your goals in life. You know, developing a plan. We all need that assistance. Okay. Let go of the past. Look, that emotional clutter. You know, and I'm gonna get a little bit ethnic here, because I know about black folk. They get all in the emotions. You know, rather than deal with stuff from a systematic standpoint, you know, we go tear something up. Go shoot somebody. You know, cuss somebody out. I had an incident that occurred. I'm gonna share this with y'all. The eye doctor I was dealing with. And she's my retinal specialist. Well, she was. First time I went to see her, I took my wife with me. My wife's a doctor. I wanted to make sure that I was getting the right treatment, I didn't understand all the terms and the terminology and whatnot, so I took her with me. I could tell the lady was perturbed by that, you know, by us coming in there, questioning her. But they're my eyes.
Right.
Then I was going on vacation, and I knew I was going to go scuba diving, so I said, no, I don't want these shots in the eye, because I know the ocean's full of bacteria and all kind of stuff. I don't want to be in that water and have something happen to me, because I got just got these shots. Ticked her off again. You tell me, because it's my eyes. Then, a couple weeks ago, I go in to see her, and I'm sitting there, and I find out I got this thing called Fauch dystopia. I had never heard that term before. The lady asked me, she said, well, you know, I said, no, I've never heard that before. She never heard that. I've never heard that before. So when the doctor comes in, I tell her, I've got Fauch dystopia. She said, oh yeah, well, I need to get you to a cornea specialist. I'm like, why in the heck didn't you do that when I was diagnosed?
Right.
Why'd I have to wait? Then she told me, she said this. I showed her the eye drops I got. Eye drops, I'm gonna get to the point here in a minute. I showed her the eye drops, and I said, she said, you take the eye drops here? She said, that's not what I prescribed for you. I said, I called the office, they put the description over. I didn't write the script myself, okay? Then this is what she said, John. What, you can't afford it? Ooh. I said, okay. Now the old Wayne would have smacked the taste out your mouth. Real quick. But I just said, no. And this is what I'm talking about, getting into our feelings and stuff. That's where I was going with this. I said, no, what I'll do is, I'll step back, I'll be cool. I'm not even gonna mention it to her. I'm not gonna let her come out of the bag, because that's what she knows, because that was borderline racist for her to say that. I bet she wouldn't have said that to somebody who was white. But she had to say that to me. I said, okay. That's where my mind went anyway. You know, I said, okay. So I wrote a letter to the manager of the office, to the corporate office of Bennett and Bloom, and to the ophthalmology department in Frankfurt.
Right.
See, guess what? I got a phone call the other day. I tell you this. I want to apologize because I didn't go off. See, I could have gone off in that office and I would have gotten thrown out.
Right.
So we got to understand something. Emotional clutter. You know, emotions are fine, but don't let them rule you.
That's right. That's right.
Okay? Feelings ain't facts. Because guess what? Your feelings will change from moment to moment, but the facts won't. You know, old preacher told me one time, he said, guess what? The truth don't need you, Shemwell. And that's the fact. The truth is the truth no matter where you go, no matter how you want to twist it. The truth is always going to be the truth. Okay? Forgive others. Woo! Wee! This is a biggie right here. Especially in the church. Church folk. Yeah. Oh, she made me mad. I ain't going to never speak to her again. And you know what? They talk about that old saying, you know, being mad at somebody like that is like drinking poison and waiting for them to die. Oh, it's insane, and all it's going to do is hurt you. Dr. Cooper talked about that, how that stress, that anger, that malice you have for that person is just going to hurt you, give you irritable bowel syndrome, give you heart disease, give you headaches, and cause you maybe to have a stroke, high blood pressure, and all that because you're mad at that person. Man, you know what? Some of y'all young in here, but I'm going to say 50 years from now, some of us won't be here. And guess what? The stuff that happened, it won't matter anyway. So get over it. Don't let that person go. Give them grace that God has given us. Because guess what? You done messed up. Right. So he forgave us, right? But what it said, I think it was saying in prayer, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. He didn't just write that for grins and giggles. That's supposed to be it. Replace guilt with grace. I just said that. So, just gotta let it go. And the worst thing is how we treat ourselves. We are our own worst enemy.
Yes, we are.
When I decided I'm gonna go down this journey and get here, one of the things I had to do was forgive me for all the stuff I had done, all the dirt I had done. My wife gave me grace already, but I was beating myself up. I can't do that. If I want to be successful, I can't do that. If I want, that's not wise. The wisdom says, guess what? I've been forgiven, and I should forgive. All right. Okay, I'm gonna go through this. I'm not gonna go through those stories. I've done that, Marcus, and I'm leaving people alone. Okay. I have some stuff for you guys. I have the Daily Affirmation Journal. I have one that's, you can copy it, but I got one for you. I have a weekly goal tracker and this 5-minute reset. This is something that I think that if you try it, you're going to be amazed at how it changes you. Because see, when that doctor said that to me, I went through that 5-minute reset. I said, okay. All right. This too shall pass. I'm not going to get out of I'm not going to get ugly. It works. It does work. You can just step back for a minute and regroup. Just reset, so to speak. All right. Let's reflect on what's stopping you. What is stopping you from being all that you can be, so to speak? You got that? Mr. Army over here. What obstacles am I currently facing? These questions you ask yourself. You ain't tell me, but just think about this. And what step can I take this week to help me get over this obstacle? To help me build a better path and write one next step. I find that writing things down helps me get it out. When I put it on paper, it ain't in my head anymore. Because if I keep something in my head, you know how we do, boy. As a hamster be running, it be running. I keep on thinking. I'm like, oh, get this out of my head. Put it down. Get a journal, a gratitude journal. Write stuff. Be thankful. Be thankful. Because if you have an attitude of gratitude, you will be better.